Hi everyone and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Tiffany.
So today we're talking about what happens over Chinese New Year. Yesterday we did all the cleanup. Mum, Jane and Charles, they cleaned their house completely for Chinese New Year.
And right, in Chinese, this is called 大扫除, and just means that it's not your normal day-to-day, like, sweep the floor, mop it real quickly. It's a really, really big cleanup where you have to, get into the corners and clean up all the dust and throw away things that you probably don't need or don't want anymore.
Yeah, they want to clean up before their dad gets home for the Chinese New Year meal. So I know that my family always does this. They kind of spend the whole day, loads of things get taken down to the laundromat to get washed and everything gets cleaned out. Bags of stuff gets thrown away. It's a big job.
Yeah.
Now, in this one, the kids are going to be responsible for their own bedrooms.
And then, for example, Charles, he looked through his bedroom and he realized, okay, well, he has a lot of old magazines. He can toss those out. And then Mom asked them to also do some dusting to clean out the dust. And you can do this by using wet cloths to clean out the dust.
Yep, they'll start high and do the top shelves so that the bottoms don't get extra dirty again. And then they will not forget to clean out all the corners and make sure everywhere, even inside all the cupboards and wardrobes, is done. And it's important that they wear gloves and masks while they're doing this so they don't breathe in any of that dust or get themselves too dirty.
So besides the cleaning of their house, they also have to do their laundry. They have to wash their clothes. So Mom asked them to go to the laundromat while she's sweeping and mopping the floors.
But all the cleanup work is now done, so in part 2 of our article, it's time for them to eat.
Yay.
Let's read through it and see what happens.
Reading. Chinese New Year. Clean first, eat later. Everyone is home and ready to eat dinner.
I'm hungry. Can we eat yet?
Yes, so let's all carry the dishes from the altar to the table.
The steamed fish smells delicious.
We can't eat it all, though. We'll save the head and tail and put them in the fridge. Fish represents surplus and good fortune, so saving some means we'll have that all year.
Dumplings stand for something as well, don't they?
That's right. They're shaped like gold ingots, so we eat them to wish for wealth in the coming year.
Charles and Jane are talking after dinner.
I'm in a bind. I love staying up late on New Year's Eve, but I want to go to bed too.
Why?
Mom and Dad put our red envelopes under our pillows. I want to open mine.
I'm eager to hang spring couplets and wear my new clothes tomorrow.
Who wants to play cards?
Me!
They get ready to play cards.
All right, so I think this is the part of Chinese New Year where everyone's, they're all excited. They're waiting for this to happen. It's time to eat dinner, okay? And here in the article, we have a scenario that says, everyone is home and ready to eat dinner.
Yep, and Charles says what almost every child probably says around this time, I'm hungry. Can we eat yet?
Yeah, and especially if they've been cleaning all day, I'm pretty sure he is really, really, really hungry. Now, Dad says yes. So let's all carry the dishes from the altar to the table. Okay, so I think before, maybe they've been cooking the whole day and then they offer some stuff to the gods. They go there to bye-bye and stuff. So they need to carry the dishes from the altar to the table. Let's take a look at the word altar. It's usually used for religious purposes, and it's usually a raised place like a table or something where you can offer gifts or things to sacrifice. Okay, I think a lot of our grandparents' homes have an altar, and on important holidays we offer food to the gods or your ancestors, and then after you offer the food, you can eat the food and be blessed as well.
Yeah, my wife's grandparents, they have a really big altar, and it's also the place where you put, if I remember the word, it's pai wei. Isn't it like a spirit tablet? You know, when somebody has passed away and they have something with their name on it that goes on the altar, and there's usually a few statues of gods and things like that.
Yes.
That's the sort of thing you'd find on an altar. Okay, so they've obviously put the food there to be blessed. They're now bringing it to the table. And Jane says, the steamed fish smells delicious. Now, steam as a noun is just hot water. It's turned into gas. So to steam something and use the verb means to cook or sometimes clean something with steam. So when you steam food, this is a healthy way of cooking it because you're not using any oil. And when you steam the food rather than boil it, the food keeps a lot of its nutrients, the good stuff, the vitamins, the minerals, all that kind of thing. And the food ends up usually very soft. It's easy to eat and break down. So the things we steam could be fish. People steam vegetables. I like steamed dumplings
yummy.
that are cooked with steam. And here's another example. These steamed baby carrots will go well with my steak.
Next, Dad says, we can't eat it all, though. We'll save the head and tail and put them in the fridge.
Okay, so that's for the fish, isn't it?
Yep. So I think this also is for most of the food in Chinese New Year. But the fish is really, really, really important for Chinese New Year, and we'll kind of learn why later. But let's take a look at the word fridge. Now, fridge is just short for the word refrigerator. A fridge is used if you want to keep something cool or cold, or if you want to make your food last for a couple of extra days, you can keep it in the fridge because refrigerators just keep your food cool, and they're supposed to keep your food fresh as well.
Yeah, it won't allow kind of bad things to grow on the food. Although, if you leave it in there too long, the food will still go bad.
Yes.
It's not like stick it in the fridge, it'll be good forever.
No, it won't.
No.
So you'll find out when you do the
Yes,
when
and you
clean
the fridge and you go, oh,
it's gross.
What happened to some of that stuff right at the back? Yeah.
It's really gross. But we have a sample sentence. We can say, Jerry's fridge was empty, so he went to the grocery store to buy food for the week.
Okay, so Dad is talking about this fish and why they don't eat it all, and why the head and tail is saved. He says fish represents surplus and good fortune. So saving some means we'll have surplus all year. So here he uses the verb represent. If something represents something, then it means something, and we often talk about it as being a sign or a symbol of that thing. So in this case, I think the fish and surplus is to do with how the two words sound. So one sound can represent another sound. So think of doyin or bopomofo, right?
Yep.
There are 30-something, all these small signs, and each little sign represents a sound in the Chinese language. Okay, so that's one way of thinking it. The Chinese characters, of course, represent, words, concepts, ideas, all sorts of things like that. Here's another example. In this picture, the rising sun represents the artist's hope that things will get better for his country.
And so, like Pat mentioned, the reason why we don't eat the fish or we don't finish the fish is because certain sounds in Chinese can mean another thing. So in Chinese, we have the saying 年年有余. So 鱼 means, it can sound like fish, and it can also sound like the word surplus as well. Surplus here just means to have more than the amount you need. So the reason why we say 年年有余, it just means, we want to make sure that we have more than what we need for the whole year.
Yeah, we can say surplus and then follow it with a noun like surplus money, surplus food. We can also use the phrase a surplus of something. We have a surplus of, talented workers. Means we've got more talented workers than we need. Okay, so we know that the fish represents surplus. Charles then asks, dumplings stand for something as well, don't they? Now, the phrasal verb stand for basically means the same as represent. We use one thing to mean another thing. It can stand for or represent that thing. So, in my example sentence about the rising sun representing the artist's hopes, we could also say the rising sun stands for the artist's hopes that things will get better. So, these words, they basically mean the same thing, and a lot of the Chinese New Year foods just have that meaning of something.
Next, Dad says, that's right. They're shaped like gold ingots, so we eat them to wish for wealth in the coming year. Okay, so besides fish, we also eat dumplings for Chinese New Year, and they kind of look like a gold ingot. Now, an ingot is a solid piece of metal shaped to look like a particular thing. So it kind of looks like a brick. Yeah.
Yeah, I always think they look like tiny little boats or hats.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of boats, actually. So if you think about the shape of a dumpling and then the shape of an ingot, I would say they kind of look like boats instead. But not like a brick, but they're more like boats.
Yeah, and I often see a lot of paper ones around during Chinese New Year.
Right. You can fold it to burn as well. So you know how sometimes people burn stuff, burn paper money to offer, money to the ancestors or gods. You can also burn gold ingots as well. Paper gold ingots.
Right. And it's usually gold for gods and silver for ancestors. Is that right?
So because my family doesn't really.
My wife's family does go pretty.
We don't
hard
go
on
pretty
that.
deep into that, but I think there could be a difference then.
So either way, what people are doing with these dumplings that look like gold and silver ingots is wishing for wealth in the coming year. Wealth as a noun is used to mean money, and when we say wealth, we usually have the meaning of having a lot of money. Another way we can use it is to say a wealth of something, and that means a lot of that thing. So someone could have a wealth of knowledge about a subject, you could have a wealth of experience, but when we just use the noun wealth by itself, we just mean money, and usually quite a lot of money. Here's an example sentence. Many people go to the temple to pray for wealth.
And also about the dumplings, sometimes people actually put like a coin inside one of the dumplings. So if
like
you
a lucky one.
if you actually eat the one with the coin, then you're actually the kind of like the lucky person for the year. So
we do that with putting a coin in the Christmas pudding.
Oh, right.
When you have a Christmas pudding, there's often a coin in there, and the one person who gets that in their slice will be like the lucky one, and they will get some money or something.
Yeah, we can do that in dumplings as well.
Cool.
Next in the article, we see the scenario. So it says Charles and Jane are talking after dinner. So, they have the food. It's about time they rest and stuff. So let's see what they say.
Right. And Charles says, I'm in a bind. Now, this is an interesting phrase. It's kind of a deliberate English idiom he's used here. If you are in a bind, you're in a difficult situation or an awkward situation. It's going to be a situation that's difficult to escape or difficult to solve. You can modify it with an adjective. You could say you're in a financial bind, which means you have money troubles. So Charles is saying, I'm in a bind. He's saying, I'm in a difficult situation here. I've got some kind of problem that I need to solve.
And let's see what his problem is. He says, I love staying up late on New Year's Eve, but I want to go to bed too. Okay, so I guess this happens to a lot of children sometimes. I remember when I was young on Christmas, I really wanted to stay up and play with, my family and friends. Yeah. But then I also was so tired, and I also wanted to sleep quickly because I wanted to wake up the next day and open more presents.
Open your actual Christmas presents, yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, we use staying up to mean kind of like going to bed later than you normally would. If you normally go to bed at, say, 11 and you say, I'm staying up late, then it means you're going to go to bed at 12 maybe. And we would stay up late maybe on weekends. We would stay up for special occasions, and certainly on things like Chinese New Year, New Year's Eve.
Christmas.
I don't know. when I was young, I never stayed up late on Christmas Eve.
Because you wanted to wake
up. Yeah, go to bed at like 7 p.m. so you can wake up at like 5 and just start opening things.
Mom.
Yeah, playing with stockings. Yeah, I'm not sure if my parents appreciated that so much. These days, I've got some friends who have a tradition of doing Christmas Eve parties. So then we will tend to stay up past midnight. And then I will stay in bed a bit longer on Christmas Eve. But things are starting to change now. Most friends have kids, so the whole
You're going to be the one in the future where your son's going to be like, Dad,
yeah.
at 5 a.m.
Yeah, and I will be, pretending, taking off some pretend Santa Claus outfits so he doesn't realize it's me doing all the present giving and things like that. So Charles wants to stay up late, but he also wants to go to bed. And Jane says, why? Like, why? It's Chinese New Year's Eve. Stay up. Why would you want to go to bed?
Well, Charles says, Mom and Dad put our red envelopes under our pillows. So it's kind of like the concept of Christmas, where you wake up in the morning, you have, presents to get. Now, in Chinese New Year, of course, all the children are excited about getting red envelopes because red envelopes means money. Now, it's a tradition for parents to put the red envelopes under your pillow. Now, a pillow is just basically something you use to sleep on. You can rest your head on it, and it makes you feel more comfortable when you sleep. And usually pillows are really soft and fluffy, and they help you go to sleep really easily.
I like slightly solid ones.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think now that I'm a little bit older, I need something that's a little bit more firm, or else I have neck pain.
Yeah, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of that memory foam stuff that kind of holds the shape of your head.
Yeah, so unfortunately, when you get older, you might need firmer pillow. That's why my grandma has a really, really hard pillow. I think she has one, the one that has like, I don't know, seems like it's rice inside or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's really hard.
Okay.
So I guess, in the future, that's going to be us. All right, let's take a look at our sample sentence. I can say my brother picked up a pillow and then hit me with it. Then we had a pillow fight.
Right. Now then, Charles says, I want to open mine. Now, he doesn't mean, of course, open his pillow. He means open his red envelope.
Jane says, I'm eager to hang spring couplets and wear my new clothes tomorrow. Okay, when you're eager, it means you're very, very excited and you're interested in doing something or you're interested in something. For example, I can say, all of the kids were eager to go to Disneyland and meet Mickey Mouse. So they're excited about two very different things.
Yes, Jane wants to hang spring couplets. Now, spring couplets, I think they're called, is it chunlian? Chunlian. So a spring couplet, it's a pair of lines of poetry. So 2 lines of poetry written in gold or black on red paper, and they're hung on both sides of a door with another piece going above the door. And these couplets express happiness at the start of a new year. They wish for better life in the upcoming year. They're very nice pieces of poetry. And I found one.
Are you going to read us a spring couplet?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to apologize in advance because I can't always pronounce things very well. I've written it out, so I might be able to get it right. I think.
Let's hear it.
Okay, all right, I'll try. 丹房千香龙献瑞. Is that right? Ray?
Ray, yes.
Ray. 红桃贺岁杏迎春. 春, okay. 福满人间.
Oh, not bad.
And it's not bad? Okay.
Not bad.
Do you want to do a better version? You can probably pronounce it better than I can.
Actually, my Chinese pronunciation is not as good.
Okay, give it a try.
I'll try it again. So it's 丹风曾享龙献瑞，红桃贺岁杏迎春。福满人间. Oh,
right. Okay.
Everyone's like cringing right now.
Yeah.
Like, your Chinese is so bad.
Well, never mind. Okay.
But it just means good things.
Yeah. The translation is Dragon and Phoenix bring the prosperity. Peach and apricot blossoms welcome the spring. blessings on the land.
So beautiful.
I know. So you want some, there's lots of different versions of these, and they're the sort of things, there's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about seven characters in each one, and then 4 to go above the door on the horizontal one. So they're very short but very nice pieces of poetry that kind of welcome the new year and wish for good things. Okay, so that's my spring couplet.
I liked it. All right, so let's finish off the article. Mom says, who wants to play cards? Okay, so
Great
it's
fun.
after dinner, they're all just relaxing, the family's all hanging out, and Mom says, why don't we gamble?
Yeah, not just for fun. And
Yeah,
Jane
for
and
fun.
Charles say, me! So they both say it together.
Me. And then lastly, we see here, they get ready to play cards. Okay, so what a fun Chinese New Year.
Exactly. We'll leave them there and go to our For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So today's question is, what is your favorite Chinese New Year food and why?
Oh, this is really hard.
Yeah.
Because I think actually for every family, the things that they cook are really different. So maybe this family will have I don't know, chicken, like drunk chicken.
Yeah.
And this family might have fried chicken. So I think it really, really, really depends. Let me think what my mom makes. My mom actually makes 炒年糕.
Oh, okay, the cake.
Yeah, the rice cake. So
Right.
I really like her rice cakes because my grandfather, he's from Shanghai. So we have the Shanghainese 炒年糕. So it's
okay.
actually
They're a bit different.
a little bit different.
Cool.
So I liked it. I like that. That's one of my favorites.
We, my wife's family, always have a hot pot. I think that's a pretty common thing. It means everybody can kind of share it and do
And
things
who
as
doesn't
a
love
family.
hot pot?
Exactly. And a hot pot's good for me because some of the other dishes, like I don't eat the fish, I don't eat the
All right,
chicken,
all the
so I'm going
meat.
to kind of skip around that. So I do like. I also like the oranges.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they always that always seem to turn up around, or tangerines, or whatever exact kind of fruit that is. The orange
Yeah, the ones
fruit.
you could peel it off.
Yeah, really easy to peel. They always mandarin oranges. I have no idea exactly what kind they are, but I always enjoy those being around. And I like a lot of there always seems to be snacks and stuff as well.
That's right.
A lot of
Too much snacks.
yeah, little bowls of nuts and spicy peanuts that always seem to come out on Chinese New Year to have. So yeah, I like all of that. That's probably because it's what I've gotten used to. Christmas, I would give completely different answers. Obviously, we have very big Christmas food traditions in the UK with what we cook. But here, I like the hot pot.
Yes.
All right, we're out of time for today. Thanks for listening, everyone. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Tiffany.
Talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chinese New Year. Clean first, eat later. Everyone is home and ready to eat dinner.
I'm hungry. Can we eat yet?
Yes, so let's all carry the dishes from the altar to the table.
The steamed fish smells delicious.
We can't eat it all, though. We'll save the head and tail and put them in the fridge. Fish represents surplus and good fortune, so saving some means we'll have that all year.
Dumplings stand for something as well, don't they?
That's right. They're shaped like gold ingots, so we eat them to wish for wealth in the coming year.
Charles and Jane are talking after dinner.
I'm in a bind. I love staying up late on New Year's Eve, but I want to go to bed too.
Why?
Mom and Dad put our red envelopes under our pillows. I want to open mine.
I'm eager to hang spring couplets and wear my new clothes tomorrow.
Who wants to play cards?
Me!
They get ready to play cards.
Vocabulary Review.
Steam. One of Polly's favorite foods is steamed dumplings. She thinks they're healthier than pan-fried ones. Fridge. As soon as he got back from the supermarket, Tim put the milk and cheese in the fridge. Represent. On the Japanese flag, the red circle represents the rising sun. Wealth. Although Sandy had a lot of money, her wealth did not make her happy. Pillow. This pillow is really soft and helps me to fall asleep at night. Eager. All of the students were eager to go on the school trip. They couldn't stop talking about it.
智慧小补帖
Surplus. In a bind.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net